Greetings, brethren, it's your bibbidi-bobbidi boy, the donkey, and today we are going to the desert. As you know, recently, I don't know how recently, but recently, I did the not the Anchor Company Liberty Ale, and I bought that online, and the place that sold it also had a whole bunch, well, not a whole bunch, they had a few other American beers, and they are all kind of, I think, established craft beer companies is what I would call them. So they're not small-timey companies. They are craft beer companies that have become big, I think. I think that's how it goes, because most of them haven't started before like 1980s, 1970s. So that I would attribute that to the craft beer movement. Yeah, it's still a shame. There are a lot of breweries that I've been recommended from the United States, and I just can't get their beers. There's, for example, one called Shiner. They do a whole bunch, and I've been recommended Shiner Bock. And I've already read up on it, and it's apparently not actually a Bock beer. It's apparently more a lager. They just call it Bock. I don't know, but I would definitely like to try that, because a few people have now actually recommended that as being a really, really good, not too crafty beer. But I can't really get that. The only place that I've found that in Europe that has it, or that imports it, is in Switzerland, and I can only get a case of 24, and that case of 24 would cost me 110 euros plus shipping. And because it's Switzerland and they're not properly in the EU, it would also cost me customs. So I would probably end up paying 150 to 160 euros for 24 bottles of beer. And I can't quite justify that. So maybe one day, when this channel has grown to a few more subscribers, I'll do like a Shiner Bock fund, where I'll ask for donations and then, buy this ridiculously overpriced case of beer. But for now, as I said, we shall go to the desert and try out a beer from Sierra Nevada. This is their pale ale. So they also have an Indian pale ale, an IPA. So I'm not entirely sure how this is any different. It has a whole lot of hops on the picture, so I'm expecting it to be a very hoppy beer. How many? We are at 5.6%, so that's not too bad for an IPA. IPAs can go much higher, I've learned. Yeah, but I don't know what to expect from it, so we're just gonna have a try. Oh, also, I wanted to check, is there any garbage in it? There's no garbage in it. Excellent. I have decided that there will be a new saying for this channel, and the saying is, if there's crap in the mash, it goes in the trash. And by that I mean, not necessarily sugar, rice, and corn, because, I don't know, I kind of have to try those sort of big brand beers that use that kind of crap. But what I mean is, like, if you put chocolate in your beer, or raspberries, or, things like that, if you throw that stuff in the mash just for shits and giggles, I'm not gonna drink your beer. That's stupid. Stop it. It's not necessary. You're just trying to be gimmicky, and I have tried a few chocolate stouts and raspberry, blueberry, double session IPAs, and I find them disgusting. So stop throwing crap in the mash, or it'll go in the trash. But now we will try this pale ale from Sierra Nevada. Pretty hallmarky IPA smell, however, it's not that pronounced. This actually, smell-wise, reminds me... Oh, actually... Okay, that's interesting. So the initial bouquet was more of an IPA, so it was really heavy on the hops, quite fruity as well. But now I'm getting a lot more sort of almost a roasty, smoky kind of thing going on there. So that's interesting, and I'm intrigued. Okay, so this is just barley as well, no wheat in there. There you go. There's your ASMR. Quite bubbly, this one. Look at that. There's a lot of bubbles going on this one. Interesting. Color is also a lot more pilsnery than I would expect from like a pale ale, like an IPA type thing. We'll just Interesting. Now there's that IPA smell is back a lot more than the roasted smell that I got earlier. I got that from the bottle, but it doesn't have any sediment. We'll just try it. Huh. You know what? I'm pleasantly surprised by this beer. So it is quite bitter, but oh, how do I even describe that? It's such an interesting beer, actually. Spoilers, this is going to get a pretty decent score. That's a first for an American beer. Yeah, wow, that's nice. So you definitely get flavor-wise, it absolutely reminds me of an IPA, but the sort of the harshness of the sort of hop flavor, the real extreme bite that you get and the bitterness, it doesn't actually come through that much. There's a lot more of a sort of a roasty barley taste that comes after it that really sort of balances it out quite nicely. Like that, I mean, wow. I'm quite excited. It's a shame that this isn't actually called an IPA, because I can tell you right now, if this was a true IPA, this would be my favorite IPA ever. This is actually quite nice. Wow, definitely not a drinking beer. I mean, you'd get real tired of this real quickly, because there is a lot going on there. But with this one, I get a lot more other things going on there. What an interesting beer this is. Yeah, I'm actually... Huh. Sorry, I was just reading where this was brewed, and I'm not sure why it is called Sierra Nevada, because it's... The way I understand this, it's... The company is in Chico, California, and Mills River, North Carolina. Doesn't sound like Nevada, but all right, we'll just accept it, I suppose. It is just a name, but yeah, very nice, and very interesting. I mean, the sort of association with IPA is definitely there. When you first take your sip, you really get that. But what I generally don't like about IPAs is not necessarily that taste, that sort of hoppy, fruity, bitter taste. It's that it lingers so much. It's that it becomes all you taste for hours, and it never goes away. And with this, it just dissipates really quickly, and you're left with this much more traditional ale taste that's a lot more sort of, you know, roasted barley and some maltiness to it, and yeah, really interesting. What an interesting beer this is. I'm so happy I tried it. I mean, this is by far easily the best American beer I've had so far. Yeah, really cool. This is gonna get a... It's not even that unpleasant on the burp. You know what? I'm gonna give this a 7.5 out of 10. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna be brave and bold and breaching new horizons, because this is a new horizon for me. Because this is the first crafty beer that I actually properly like. I will get more of these. That's how much I like it. It's not a beer for every day, but every now and then I'll be like, yeah, you know what? I'll have one of them. So that's actually really cool. Yeah, hats up to these guys. I don't know if you've seen my video where I was talking about the Hop House 13 Guinness lager, or the Guinness Hop House 13 lager, whatever. In that one I said that I like it, but I wish more craft beer companies would kind of restrain themselves with the hops and not go so insane on that whole side of things, and just mellow their beers out a little bit more. This is what I was talking about. It has all of that hop flavor. If you're, you know, one of those hop head crazy obsessed craft beer weirdos, I think you will still really appreciate this, because the hop flavor is absolutely there, and you can go on about that for hours, and what kind of flowers and fruits and animal droppings it reminds you of. I'm sure you'll be happy with that. But I think that also a lot more traditional beer drinkers, you know, brown, you know, more farmers ale and lager and all sorts of, you know, beer enthusiasts, I think you will also be able to appreciate this, because it's a lot more, it doesn't go completely nuts, which is nice. It doesn't have to. It really delivers in flavor in a way that I think rivals even quite a lot of German beers. Like, this is excellent. Well done, Sierra Nevada Brewing Company in Chico, California, and Mills River, North Carolina, USA. You have done well. You really have. Wow. I think I might have to try more beers from this company. They also have an IPA, which I'm probably going to pass on. I don't know, maybe I won't. We'll see. But I saw that they have another one that's, I think, a farmhouse ale. So I'd be interested to see what that's like. Now knowing that not all of their beers taste like IPAs. Or, you know, when they do, they're kind of, or this is at least a little bit more restrained. Anyway, stop babbling. It's actually really nice. 7.5 out of 10. What a surprise. I really kind of expected this to be it's another IPA, folks, ba-dup-dup-dup-dup, and then just end the video. But I couldn't do that. I had to actually make a full review of this one. So, yay! If you enjoyed this video, oh, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, by the way. Let's not skip over that part. But if you enjoyed this video, do make sure that you come back on another day for another beer. Take care, guys.